Well, we now want to link up with our reporter in Kisumu County, Achola Simon, just to give us an update of the current events on that side of the country. Achola Simon, if you can hear me, what's happening? What's the update from your side of the county there?
Well, thank you very much, Alan. Now, mid last month, Kisumu County government gave out around 222 goats to various farmers and residents of this county, according to the governor of Kisumu County, Professor Peter Nyong'o, and the CEC of Agriculture at the time said that the move was meant first and foremost to improve the local breeds, that is amongst the 222 grade goats that are actually given out at the time. Half of them were actually male, and they said that part of the reason why they had actually acquired the male ones was to improve the local breeds, and of course the female were meant to ensure that they generate income for those who would benefit from the goats. And of course, other thing that was actually said at the point was that the county government had acquired about 100 kilograms of seeds of pasture and fodder that will actually be given to farmers across the county to ensure that indeed the goats are able to get food and be taken care of well. Well, the move at the point at the time actually raised controversy. Of course, people raising questions about the price of the goats, but of course the county government came out strongly and defended the price of the goats, saying that these were actually grade cows, the grade goats, and there were every chance that indeed the goats would cost the amount that they were costing, which is about 22,000 for each and every goat. But as we speak today, Alan, what is happening is that the county government has started recalling some of the goats. They are saying that some of the members, some of the locals who are actually given the goats are not able to take care over the goats. So we actually gone out and sought the views of officials of the county government to actually expound on the reason as to why they are recalling some of these goats. And the person who is going to actually give us details of exactly why they are actually recalling some of these goats and why probably they gave out these goats to the locals, and knowing very well that most of them are not in a position to actually take care of the goats, is Alois Aguirre, who actually works in the office of the governor Kisumu County, the director of communication. Welcome again.
Thank you, Mr. Chola.
Now, last month, the county government gave out at least 222 goats to various farmers in this county. Right now, we're being told that they're actually being recalled. What exactly is happening?
Well, I think to use the term recall might not be quite it.
So what is happening?
The thing is, you know, as you're aware, agriculture is obviously, agriculture, livestock and fisheries is one of the backbones of this economy. And look at what's been happening in the country and the county, where floods and this COVID-19 pandemic has really destroyed the economy. So what we are doing is we are creating food resilience by giving farmers opportunities to, to be able to grow crops and livestock that can be able to help them post these pandemics and disasters. So now one of the strategies that we put in place was to give them goats, which are much easier to maintain and manage as opposed to dairy cows. And again, you look at the nutritional value of goat milk. This is one of the things that we look at to reduce under 5 mortality and also bring money into the pockets of the common person. Now, the government went through a very rigorous recruitment process of the farmers, and we went for farmer groups. We are trying to create strengthen cooperatives. So we gave the animals to farmer groups, and we were targeting the youth and the vulnerable, the women and people with disabilities. Why are we doing this is because, one, the youth, because we want to catapult agriculture from the old man mentality, that agriculture was for that old mama in the village, to a young man's career that can be able to be sustainable. We want to make agriculture be productive and people to love agriculture. That's why we're bringing on board the youth groups. So
Again, the point of discussion here is that the county government has gone in the follow-up of the project they're actually doing, has gone to the ground and has realized that some of these goats are not being taken care of as they're supposed to be taken care of, and they're recalling the goats. Can you kindly confirm if that is happening or not?
That is so. You know, one of the responsibilities of the government is extension services. And extension services mean that they need to continuously help the farmers in management of agricultural production. But there's also, the government also has the responsibility of ensuring that public resources are employed productively. Now, we have these groups that were given these animals. And one of the groups specifically transferred the animal to another group because they didn't have time to manage the group. And the group that was illegally given the animal was not registered with government and did not have the capacity, was not trained, they did not know how to handle this animal, so the animal was suffering. We were going to end up losing this animal. Then we also had another group, as the extension workers went around, monitoring, that, tied this goat under a tree, and it had not been fed for almost like 2 days from the look of things. Would we want public resources to be wasted by people who claim that they don't have time? Like this youth group said they were also having some other side hustles. So for them, this was a hustle. No. For us,
it's supposed to be the main hustle.
Yes.
But when the CEC was actually overseeing the distribution of these goats, one of the things that she actually put out there was the fact that the county had acquired about 100 kilograms of seeds that will be given, seeds for fodder and pasture, that will be given to farmers so that then they can actually have a sustainable way of actually feeding these goats. Now, looking at it in retrospect, are we putting the cart before the horse?
Actually, it is not to be given. They were given. This was part of the preparatory stages, that people were given seedlings for the fodder. People were trained on how to manage fodder and the kind of fodder that you could look for. So it was not putting the cart before the horse. The preparatory stage of being given the 100 kgs of seedlings happened before they were given the animals. Yeah, this is a process that has been ongoing for almost 8 months now. Yes. Yeah.
So far, how many of them have actually been recalled? And going forward, when are we seeing this program being nurtured into what the county had actually envisaged?
I want to say that so far we have been, overly impressed by the way the farmers have carried themselves with these, animals that have been given, be they dairy cattle or these goats. So far, out of the 250 plus goats, the 252, we've only managed to recall 2 who are being mismanaged in those 2 youth groups. So essentially, we are seeing almost a 99.99% performance rating. And if I give you an example of what we started earlier, the dairy exercise that we started earlier to support the milk processing plant in Moroni, we have grown our milk productivity from 400 liters a day to 2,000. And our target, and that is in a period of 8 months, our target is to attain that 10,000 liters at that plant, the plant's capacity. So we are seeing a situation where, farmers are doing very well. For example, those dairy animals, we did not record one single mortality. That is very important. Even these goats, we have not recorded any mortality. But we must not sit on our laurels and wait for mortalities. We must ensure that these seed animals change the atmosphere of livestock productivity in the region.
Yes. In conclusion, again, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the goats. And of course, this is the opportunity to actually clear the air, because people say that the price that these goats were actually bought was exorbitant. And then 2, people fear that this is one of the publicity project where you give out goats, you don't follow up, and you get no. And you've rightly put it that the dairy project is actually doing well. Probably just in conclusion, assure locals in this county that indeed this is a project that the county government is going to follow through to ensure that indeed it brings money into their pockets.
Mr. Chola, as you're aware, it's 3 weeks since we gave out the animals. And we have already followed up on the 252 farmer groups that were given. That gives you the impression of the seriousness with which this government is taking this responsibility. And I've given you the scenario with the dairy cattle, where we have confirmed that we did not lose a single animal of those animals that were given out, of those dairy cows that were given out. So we are very serious with this. Our Department of Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries is going to ensure that we do not deploy public resources in vain. For us, this is not a publicity stunt. This is about food resilience and creating food security in this region. About the coast, Mr. Chola, these are dairy goats. The Dairy Board has set certain standards for dairy goats. And for dairy goats, you'll find the prices ranging from anywhere between 15,000 and 30,000. So we are right within the allowable limits. We did not expend monies in untoward manner. And, these are, expenditures that I am sure the Auditor General, when he goes through the books, will really be proud of.
Thank you very much again. Yeah. Of course, this is a discussion that we will continue to ensure that indeed this project achieves its targets. Well, that is the Director of Communication in Kisumu County, Alois Aguirre, of course, expounding on the controversy that is surrounding the goat project that was actually initiated last month by the Kisumu County Governor, Professor Peter Nyong'o, just telling us that they have done due diligence to ensure that indeed the project achieves its target. Back to you, Alan.
Thank you very much, Achola Simon, for that report. Achola, of course, giving us an update about the animal donations in Kisumu County.